A bar and bar chart is a chart that allows you to compare two or more measures against each other. For example, if you wanted to compare last year's sales to this year's sales, or if you wanted to compare this year's sales to your profit, this year's sales to your budget or your quota. In this video, I will show you how to create bar and bar charts in Tableau. We can create a bar and bar chart by making sure that both bars start from the same level, and we can vary both the color and the thickness of the bar to make the comparison easier. Let's jump to a demo. For example, this is your starting graph. You have two bar charts, one for 2015, another for 2016, and you simply wanted to have an easier way and maybe a more compact way of comparing these two profit values together. What we can do is we can drag year from columns and move that to color. Let's just rearrange the colors first. I'm going to move 2015, so it's the first one that shows up. So what this creates is what we call a stacked bar graph. So what is a stacked bar graph? It takes all of your measures and it stacks them on top of each other. A stacked bar graph is great if you care about looking at the cumulative values, the total of all the measures that you have. However, if you're comparing them side by side, it makes it really hard to compare. In this case, you can see 2016 is hard to compare against all other 2016 numbers because they don't all start at the same baseline. And it's also hard to compare it with the 2015 values. The first thing we can do is we can unstack them. Unstacking means we're going to take all these measures and make sure that they all start from the same baseline. Tableau by default will stack all the marks. When you go to the analysis menu at the very top, you have a stack marks option, and from here you can see that this is set to automatic, which is on. We simply need to turn this off. When we turn that off, we're going to see all of our marks drop down to the same base level as all other marks. So from here, analysis, stack marks, turn that off. So we have now unstacked the marks, which means the blue and the orange bars both start at 0. Now this is still challenging because there are some marks where only one color is visible because everything is opaque. For example, if we take a look at South America, it's only orange. So we can't tell if the blue and the orange are supposed to be the same or if blue is less than the orange. So the last step in this bar and bar chart is making sure that we vary the width. I'm going to press Control and I'm going to drag the pill that's currently on color, which is here. I'm going to drag that to size to vary the size as well. And this is the basics of your bar and bar chart when you're using a dimension. If you wanted to vary the color, simply double click on the color legend. It opens up that color palette menu. If you wanted to vary the size, you can also double click on the size legend. Same thing, there's a menu that pops up and you can make your adjustments as you see fit. Another possible variation in a bar and bar chart is having two measures. In the previous example, we used year, which is a discrete dimension. But right now, what if you have two measures? How can we deal with this? What we can do is we can create a shared axes chart. We can simply drag one of the measures on top of the existing axes of the other measure. This will create your shared axes chart. Once we have the shared axes chart, we still follow the same steps. We still need to have our discrete dimension on color and that same discrete dimension to be on size. So let's do that. In this case, I'm going to simply drag measure names onto color, and this returns us to our stacked bar graph. We're going to go to Analysis, Stack Marks, Unstack the marks, and from here we can copy measure names, put that onto size. We're still going to end up with the same bar and bar chart as the previous example. And this is it for your quick bar and bar tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.